I transmigrated into the vicious male supporting character in a novel. The female CEO hated me to the core and wanted a divorce for the sake of her white moonlight. I excitedly signed the divorce agreement, got half of the female CEO's assets, and then said with a smile, "I wish you love, while I have wealth." I transmigrated into the vicious male supporting character in a CEO romance novel. Lying on the 200 square meter bed, I was in a daze for a long time before accepting this fact. I went through the plot of the book. My name is Ji Shaochen. I have liked Jiangyu since I was a child, but Jiangyu has always hated me. So I used all kinds of means to force her to marry me, and she had no choice but to marry me due to family pressure. Later, she rekindled her old feelings with her white moonlight and proposed a divorce to me. As divorce compensation, Jiangyu would give me half of her assets. But I loved Jiangyu so much that I didn't want a divorce and kept courting death, scheming to frame her white moonlight, and ended up miserably. The original owner was not only a pig brain, but also a love brain. He was too stupid. Therefore, if I want to live healthily to 99 years old, all I need to do is sign the agreement obediently when Jiangyu proposes a divorce to me. In the evening, I sat at the dining table waiting for Jiangyu to get off work and come back for dinner. When I checked the time on my phone for the nth time, Jiangyu finally came back. She didn't even glance at the dishes on the table and went straight upstairs. I was too lazy to pay attention to her. She could eat or not. I picked up my chopsticks and stuffed a black abalone into my mouth. It was delicious. Jiangyu is really like a mountain pig who can't appreciate fine food. She only knows how to eat takeout at the company all day long. After eating my fill, I went upstairs and met Jiangyu, who had just finished showering and was preparing to go to the study to work. She was wearing a bathrobe. Her face was beautiful, and her skin was fair. I was stunned. Jiangyu glanced at me. "Ji Shaochen, mind your own eyes." I curled my lip, looking at her indifferent face, as if I owed her 200 billion. That's when I understood what abstinent style meant. It makes you lose any desire. Still, Chairman Mao makes my heart beat more. Now my motto in life is, stay away from Jiangyu. Cherish wealth. Jiangyu and I sleep in separate rooms, and there is no marital intimacy. The original owner always ran to harass Jiangyu in the middle of the night and was always thrown out in the end. His skin so thick it was outrageous. The next day, I woke up naturally and then went to the mall for a shopping spree. I bought whatever was expensive and didn't even look at anything below 100,000 yuan. Of course, I was using Jiangyu's bank card. The only regret was that I couldn't max out her card. It's not my fault, it's her fault for being too rich. It's okay, I'll continue tomorrow. Although the original owner was a second-generation rich kid, his parents favored his daughter over him, giving all the family property to his younger sister. If I want to become a tycoon, I can only rely on myself. Back home, the maid came over and asked what dishes to prepare for lunch to send to the company. Only then did I remember that Ji Shaochun would send lunch to Jiangyu every day, but Jiangyu never ate it, throwing it directly into the trash. Wasting food is shameful. Besides, why should I offer her my warm face to her cold backside? Am I crazy? I waved my hand and said, "No need, I won't be going anymore." After lunch, I received a call from Jiangyu, saying I had to accompany her to a banquet that evening. Jiangyu may hate me, but she still has to put on an act in public, maintaining a facade. As night fell, Jiangyu and I arrived at the banquet. Someone joked, "Mr. Ji and Miss Jiang are truly a match made in heaven. Their children will surely be adorable." Jiangyu, holding my arm, did not respond to the remark. I smiled and casually replied with a few polite words, but inside I was thinking, have a kid? Bullshit. Throughout the evening, I accompanied Jiangyu, socializing and smiling until my face was almost stiff. No feelings involved, all just practice techniques. After a while, the flatterers moved away, and I finally had the chance to drink some juice to moisten my throat and move my sore legs. So tired. Even professional actors aren't this exhausting. But the thought of the money I'd get after the divorce immediately perked me up. I looked down at Jiangyu, as if looking at sparkling, valuable money. I wonder when we can get divorced? Half the assets are so tempting. Jiangyu may be a bit of a jerk, but she's generous. Thinking about this, I even find her a little more pleasing to the eye. Jiangyu noticed my gaze, and, seeing my starry eyes, she frowned in disgust and said to me, "Ji Shaochen, don't daydream that I'll fall in love with you. It's impossible. Not in this lifetime." I rolled my eyes inwardly, stop being so conceited. The only thing I love is money. I hope that in the future, when people curse me, they can curse me for being so rich that all I have is money. After the banquet ended, Jiangyu and I came out and I saw a man in a white shirt standing not far away. The male lead, Lin Yi. I immediately pressed down on my right hand because, according to the original plot, the moment I saw Lin Yi, I'd rush over and punch him, and then Jiang Yu would slap me. I don't want to get hit. Besides, my face just had some expensive maintenance work done at the beauty salon this afternoon. Jiang Yu and Lin Yi met when they were in college. Although Lin Yi came from a poor background, he was handsome, strong, and optimistic. This unyielding spirit attracted Jiang Yu. Later, when Jiang's mother found out about their relationship, she forced them apart, offering Lin Yi 2 million to leave. Lin Yi didn't take a single penny. Unable to bear Jiang's mother's humiliation, he broke up with Jiang Yu. If it were me, I would have haggled over the price and would have agreed if they upped the offer to 200 million. What's so great about the female lead? Her personality is cold, neither gentle nor adorable. It's just that he's good-looking, but being good-looking can't put food on the table. At this moment, Lin Yi was stubbornly looking at us, his eyes still filled with tears. To be precise, he was looking at Jiang Yu, because seeing me and Jiang Yu together had broken his heart. Don't be sad, my relationship with the female lead is just for show. It's not real. Jiang Yu's expression changed drastically, and she hurried forward, but Lin Yi turned and left. Watching them play out the drama of him escaping and her chasing him, I almost wanted to get a small stool to watch the spectacle. This novel is a sweet romance. The sweet couple are the male and female leads, and I'm just a side character. Jiang Yu still caught up with Lin Yi and grabbed his hand. Lin Yi turned his face away, deliberately ignoring her. Jiang Yu anxiously explained, and then the two of them hugged tightly. Finally, they walked away hand in hand, completely forgetting my existence. Jiang Yu is such a devoted lover. If I weren't the one being cuckolded, I would definitely clap for them. I had just turned around to hail a taxi when I met a deep gaze. I quickly realized it was Jiang Yue, Jiang Yu's older sister, the heir to the Jiang group, who had a cold personality. Looking at her aloof and indifferent face, I suddenly understood their stern faces might be hereditary. I respectfully greeted her. President Jiang. Jiang Yue scrutinized me. Your wife left you for another man, and you don't seem sad at all? Of course I'm not sad. I'm not the love brain formula I used to be. Right now, I just want to divorce Jiang Yu, take half of her assets, and become a rich freeloader. I lowered my head and sighed. What's the point of being sad? The god of wealth doesn't favor resentful men. Jiang Yue looked at me for a long time before saying, I'll drive you back. Jiang Yu had already left, and it was indeed inconvenient to get a taxi here. So I said, then I'll have to trouble President Jiang. The car was silent throughout the ride. When we arrived, Jiang Yue personally opened the car door for me. I was about to thank her when a shadow loomed over me. I looked up and saw her beautiful face so close. I held my breath, my heart racing. Honestly, Jiang Yue was only 3 years older than Jiang Yu, but she was more mature and composed and looked difficult to get along with, so I had always kept my distance from her. Good heavens, could it be that she's taken a liking to me? But I don't remember this plot point in the book. Jiang Yue said calmly, get some rest. I breathed a sigh of relief. If you're just talking, why get so close? Thank you, President Jiang, for driving me back. In the following days, Jiang Yu and I were at peace because she was busy dating Lin Yi, and I was busy shopping, going to the mall during the day, and attending auctions at night. Create more wealth in a limited time. Until this evening, when Jiang Yu came back from work and saw the leftovers on the table, she was stunned. Before, no matter how late she returned, Ji Shaochen would wait to eat with her. After licking the caviar from the corner of my lips into my mouth, I said, if you haven't eaten, just ask the kitchen to make something again. By the way, I can have some late-night snacks later. Then I stood up, ready to go to the home theater to binge-watch dramas. Jiang Yu asked me, have you been enjoying buying things lately? My steps faltered. Was she worried about spending her money? Do you think I've been spending too much money lately? Jiang Yu said coldly, no, it's just that you shouldn't throw the things you buy all over the place. We each have our own walk-in closet, but they're right next to each other. Jiang Yu must have seen the things I bought lying on the floor. She's not only a neat freak, but also a perfectionist. She can't stand things being thrown around. Okay, I'll go tidy up later. Suddenly remembering something, I looked at her and said, then can you stop throwing your socks around? Once, she even threw them in front of my door. Jiang Yu's face darkened. Since when is it your turn to teach me what to do? Who do you think you are? Fine, you're the important one. I didn't argue with her and instead said, by the way, I'm planning to go on vacation to the Maldives. Mother Jiang would soon find out that Jiang Yu and Lin Yi were still entangled and would ask me to deal with Lin Yi. The original owner was already jealous and wished she could kill Lin Yi. And with Mother Jiang's authorization, she went even further down the path of self-destruction. Lin Yi is the male lead and has the protagonist's halo. What am I, some nobody, going to do to fight him? I just want to slack off. Going on vacation to avoid the limelight is my best option. Jiang Yu didn't object. She never cared about me, as long as I didn't pester her. But while I was leisurely sunbathing and watching hot beauties in the Maldives, I received a call from Mother Jiang, telling me to go back immediately. I cursed Jiang Yu several times in my heart. Couldn't she be more careful not to be discovered by her mother? I hadn't seen enough of the beauties here yet, but I still booked a flight back. As soon as I got home, I received a call from Jiang Yu. Ji Shaochen, you know very well that the person I love is A Yi. Let's get a divorce. I held down my pounding heart. Even when I was being reincarnated, I wasn't this excited. Pretending to be calm, I said, okay. I agreed so readily, and Jiang Yu on the other end fell silent. Afraid she didn't hear me because of a bad signal, I reminded her, have you prepared the divorce papers? Jiang Yu asked. You agree to the divorce? I sighed. It can't be helped if I disagree. You don't love me anyway. Jiang Yu said, I'll have my assistant send the agreement to your house later. Got it? As a president's assistant, his efficiency was naturally beyond doubt. Half an hour later, I held the divorce agreement, my heart pounding as I looked at the amount on it. I counted until my fingers cramped. I couldn't possibly spend it all. Absolutely not. I bit my lip hard. Ouch! That hurt. This wasn't a dream. It was real. I quickly signed my name, my hands trembling, and handed it to Jiang Yu's assistant. Ask your president, can we go get the divorce certificate right away? The assistant was stunned for a couple of seconds. The situation was different from what he had imagined. Even if his boss wasn't sad, he shouldn't be this happy. But he still did as told and called Jiang Yu. Then he said to me, President Jiang says it's okay. She's coming to pick you up now. I hummed a little tune as I went upstairs to change. When I came downstairs, the assistant looked at me again, startled, because I was dressed even younger and more handsome than the day we got married. I smiled. I was about to become a super rich person. There had to be some sense of ceremony. Once in the car, Jiang Yu looked me over and asked, You're in a good mood? My wildly upturned smile froze slightly. I turned to look at her. I thought, I've never gotten a shred of genuine affection from you. So what if I get a mountain of wealth? But I hadn't gotten the divorce certificate yet. I couldn't be too blatant. I looked at her with deep pain. Do we really have to get a divorce? Sure enough, she was disgusted by me. Jiang Yu said coldly, We absolutely have to divorce. Then I was relieved. After a while, she asked again, Is there anything you need to add to the divorce agreement? I smiled. No. I was extremely satisfied. But my good mood didn't last 10 minutes before it was ruined. We got stuck in traffic at a crucial moment. I kept urging the driver to go faster. What if the people at the Civil Affairs Bureau clocked out? Jiang Yu looked at me strangely. I gave a reasonable explanation. Aren't you very busy? I'm afraid of wasting your work time. Seeing that the traffic wasn't moving for a long time, I got anxious and went to the front of the car. It turned out that a guy was driving and talking on the phone at the same time. I went up and knocked on his car window. Hey buddy, stop talking on the phone. I'm in a rush to get a divorce. It's an emergency. Don't you understand? The guy in the car looked at me. He had seen people getting divorced, but never seen anyone as eager to get divorced as me. I returned to the car to see Jiang Yu on the phone. Her brow furrowed, like something had happened. After she hung up, she told the driver, Don't go to the Civil Affairs Bureau. Go to the old residence. In an instant, I felt awful. Damn it, Jiang Yu. If you dare to go back on your word, believe me, I'll water your company's fortune tree to death. On second thought, no, I'm still counting on her to earn more money so I can get a bigger share. I arrived at the old mansion. It turned out that Jiang's mother fainted from anger when she learned Jiang Yu wanted a divorce. Jiang's father was giving Jiang Yu a severe tongue lashing. I stood aside, not saying a word. My eyes were red, and my thighs were bruised from pinching them. Jiang Yu was determined to divorce me, refusing to compromise. I was also determined to take half of her property, so I could only continue to pretend to be upset. In the end, Jiang Yu directly knelt at the front door, trying to get the Jiang family elders to agree to our divorce. Good idea. Coincidentally, it started to pour rain from the sky. I was happy. This is really heaven helping me. A servant ran to me and said, Son-in-law, the old lady wants you to persuade the second young lady. I nodded solemnly. I understand. 10 minutes later, I sat on the steps, eating sunflower seeds while watching the woman kneeling in the heavy rain. I clicked my tongue a couple of times, filming an idle drama. Are you Rain Sister? The servant couldn't bear to watch anymore and was going to hold an umbrella for her, but I stopped her. How can they feel sorry for her if it's not miserable enough? I hope she works harder so we can get divorced quickly. Go and pour me a cup of tea. The servant was dumbfounded. This son-in-law seems different than before. Jiang Yu's physical condition wasn't very good, and she got a fever after kneeling for not too long. A young lady of a wealthy family is just that, a A few drops of rain, and she's sick, truly useless. The servant rushed her to the room and called a doctor. I glanced at the thermometer. Only 38 degrees. It won't kill her. Then I dismissed the servant, looking at Jiang Yu, who was pale and leaning against the headboard. I kindly poured her a glass of water. If we want to get divorced faster, you still need to work harder. Jiang Yu coughed a few times and asked me, "What do you mean?" I gave Jiang Yu an idea, letting her go on a hunger strike. This trick was indeed effective. The Jiang family elders were heartbroken to see their daughter sick and refusing to eat or drink. I was also heartbroken. My money would lose a day's interest for every day it's delayed. In the end, they had no choice but to agree to Jiang Yu's divorce with me. Jiang's mother felt guilty towards me and pulled me into her room, giving me an imperial jadeite ornament. She has always been generous to me, often giving me various valuable items. I cried and hugged her leg, shouting, "Mom, I can't bear to leave you. Can't bear to leave your valuables. If not, you can just recognize me as your godson." Coming downstairs, I met Jiang Yue. She asked me, "You love Jiang Yu so much. Don't you feel bad seeing her like this?" I'd rather feel bad for myself. I haven't even had my bird's nest soup today. Anyway, Jiang Yu and I are getting divorced soon, so I can't be bothered to pretend to be affectionate. I shrugged and said, "Love brain isn't incurable. I'm cured." Jiang Yue smiled. I immediately panicked. I'd never seen her smile before. There aren't many descriptions of Jiang Yue in the book, so I don't know much about her. Just as I was thinking this, I heard a commotion outside. I went out and saw Lin Yi. He was standing outside the door, clamoring to see Jiang Yu. I didn't like playing matchmaker, so I told the servants to let him in. Lin Yi looked at me. "I've known Yue for a long time. I didn't come between your marriage." I nodded. "Of course you didn't. You're the male lead in a wish fulfillment novel, the kind that levels up all the way. And I, this villainous supporting character, will get cursed out even if I do nothing. Jiang Yu and I are getting divorced." Lin Yi was stunned. "You agreed to a divorce?" "Ha, it would be hilarious if I didn't. Only you treat Jiang Yu like she's precious." I nodded. "Yes." Then I led Lin Yi upstairs. Unexpectedly, Lin Yi missed a step and fell backward. He yelled, "Ah!" I reached out to pull him, but it was too late. Watching Lin Yi tumble down the stairs and lie on the ground, a pool of blood beneath him, I was frightened. My right eyelid twitched violently. I remembered a plot point in the book where I deliberately pushed Lin Yi down the stairs. But I didn't push him. I'm seriously speechless. The hospital. Lin Yi was still in the emergency room. Jiang Yu was radiating a dark aura, staring at me as if she wanted to tear me to pieces. I was more wrong than Doi. Ji Shaochen, you better pray that Yi is okay. Otherwise, I will make you repay me 1,000 times over. Jiang Yu, are you even human? Have you forgotten who poured water for you when you were sick? But the thought of the original owner's tragic end sent shivers down my spine. I subconsciously shrank back against the wall, already thinking about the style of my coffin. I didn't. Jiang Yu glared at me. Ji Shaochen, you still want to deny it? I saw it. He didn't push him down. A voice interrupted Jiang Yu. I turned and looked at Jiang Yue, who appeared out of nowhere. "President Jiang, save me." At this moment, the operating room door opened, and the doctor came out and said that Lin Yi had a concussion and a fractured right leg and needed to be hospitalized. Jiang Yu was so worried that she had no time to bother with me. After Lin Yi woke up, Jiang Yu asked, "Did Ji Shaochun push you down the stairs?" Lin Yi glanced at me and shook his head, saying, "He didn't push me down. I just accidentally lost my footing." My heart that was hanging in the air dropped. Although the plot had a bug, thankfully the male lead's character didn't collapse, or I'd be done for. It seems I need to stay far away from them in the future to avoid the plot acting up again. The next morning, Jiang Yu and I went to handle the divorce procedures. After receiving the divorce certificate, I couldn't help but cry. I've finally become rich. I wiped away my tears and smiled at Jiang Yu, saying, "I wish you love, and I wish myself wealth." After saying that, I didn't care what her reaction was and drove off in my Maserati. The assets Jiang Yu divided included several properties, and I chose a large flat with a great view to move into. I didn't choose the villa that was over 1,000 square meters because I couldn't bear to spend the money on hiring people. After the divorce, I lived a successful and prosperous life. Every day I woke up, I would first check the interest in my account, then go eat, drink, and travel. The only annoying thing was that my parents found out I had divorced Jiang Yu and specifically called to scold me. Because of my divorce, they lost quite a lot of benefits. I transferred them a large sum of money, and they shut up. Money isn't everything, but without money, you can't do anything. After returning from Bali, I heard about a good bar, so I want to check it out in the evening. One should enjoy life while they're at the top. I didn't order any expensive drinks or ladies. I just had a few drinks. I didn't expect to run into Jiang Yue. It seemed like she was a regular. Oh, she pretends to be pure and abstinent on the surface. But in secret, she still likes to come to these decadent places. She quickly noticed me. I took the initiative to greet her, President Jiang. I was thinking that if I ran into any tricky situations in the future, she might be willing to help me out. Jiang Yue sat next to me and said with a faint smile, "You seem to be doing quite well after divorcing Yue." I laughed it off, not bad. Jiang Yue was quite self-disciplined. She didn't order any male models, she just sat quietly drinking. However, her alcohol tolerance wasn't great. She got drunk after a while. I saw that it was almost time to go home, but she suddenly grabbed my hand, not letting me leave. The men here were eyeing her like hawks, all eager to spend the night with her. I had no choice but to take her with me. When I paid the bill, I was shocked to see that the bottle of wine she drank cost 150,000. I glared fiercely at the drunken Jiang Yue. What a spendthrift. I gritted my teeth, paid the bill, and my heart ached. I didn't know where Jiang Yue lived, and I couldn't take her back to the Jiang family mansion. In this state, if people misunderstood that something was going on between us, it would be a hassle. I was originally a cannon fodder male supporting character, easily killed off by others. In the end, I could only bring her home. If it weren't for her speaking up for me at the hospital last time, I wouldn't have bothered with her. I carried her into the guest room, placed her on the bed, and then went back to my own room to sleep. I had a good night's sleep, and in the morning I was woken up by hunger because I smelled the aroma of food. I didn't hire a maid. Who was cooking? I immediately climbed out of bed and ran to the kitchen to take a look. Turns out it was a snail fairy. Oh no, it was the cheap CEO, Jiang. I didn't expect her to know how to cook. Jiang Yue glanced at me. Go brush your teeth and wash your face. Breakfast is ready. I quickly went to brush my teeth and wash my face, also taking the time to shave, making myself look a bit more energetic. Jiang Yue looks like someone who knows how to enjoy life. Even the fried eggs are very exquisite, unlike Jiang Yu, who only knows how to eat takeout all day long. No wonder she has stomach problems. She deserves it. Suddenly remembering something, I coughed lightly and said, CEO Jiang. Jiang Yue looked up at me. Which one? She's still pretending to be clueless. I'm not a sucker. The bar tab from last night, please transfer it to me, 150,000. And next time you go to a bar, please tell me in advance so I can avoid that day. As soon as I finished speaking, I heard my phone vibrate. I looked down. Why is there 50,000 more? A reward for not leaving me at the bar last night. I chuckled dryly a few times. It's just respecting the old and loving the young. Jiang Yue asked displeased. Are you calling me old? Only then did I realize that the word old seemed to have stepped on a woman's landmine, and I quickly explained. No. So, Jiang, you are young and beautiful, stunning. I'm the one who's old. Stumped for words, I added, and the food you made is delicious. Jiang Yue's expression finally improved. I'm really walking on eggshells here. Since I had nothing to do, I thought I might as well find a job. Jiang Yue has wide connections, so I called her to ask her to introduce me to some work. After thinking for a moment, she said, "It just so happens that my secretary recently went on maternity leave. You can take her place." The original owner was very lazy, lacking both ability and any particular skills, so a secretary's job of delivering coffee and files was indeed suitable. So I agreed. When I went to work, I realized that Jiang Yu's office was on the same floor as mine. To make matters worse, I ran into her. What a bad karmic relationship. Jiang Yu said to me with disgust, "Ji Shaochen, we're already divorced. Don't you go haunting me." Actually, it can't be completely blamed on Jiang Yu, because the original owner had indeed been quite shameless in the past to be with her. But I can't take the blame for that. You've misunderstood. I'm here for work. Jiang Yu looked at me disdainfully. You're good for nothing but eating and lazing around. What else can you do besides spending money? Don't think I don't know you're just looking for a chance to get close to me. I was too lazy to explain to her. Jiang Yu, narcissism is also a disease. Please go get it treated. Jiang Yu was slightly stunned. The old me wouldn't have retorted like this. I didn't look at her again, and simply turned and left, my aura reaching 2 meters 8. This was probably my shining moment in front of Jiang Yu. I originally thought that a secretary position was one where you could slack off, but I was quickly slapped in the face. Jiang Yue was a fighting machine among workaholics. I was so busy I was about to die. Forget slacking off, I barely even touched my phone, probably seeing that I was struggling to adapt. Jiang Yue said she'd treat me to a big meal that night. In an instant, my thoughts of quitting were suppressed. This hardship wasn't unbearable after all. After work, I came out of the elevator with Jiang Yue, and my foot suddenly slipped, my body falling to the side. Zhang Yue, with quick eyes and hands, grabbed my arm, preventing me from having an intimate encounter with the ground. Our eyes met. My heart was about to jump out of my body. Then a voice broke the atmosphere. Sis. It was Zhang Yu. She looked at me. Ji Shaochen, what exactly are you trying to do? Work and make money, of course. When did her brain become so useless? I steadied myself. Thank you, President Jiang. Zhang Yu said to Zhang Yue. Sis, this man has ulterior motives. Don't let him fool you. Zhang Yue looked at Zhang Yu. Shaochen is my secretary now. Show him some respect. President Jiang, you're amazing. I'm so touched. I didn't bet on the wrong horse. Zhang Yu frowned, seeming like she still wanted to say something, but Zhang Yue had already pulled me away. Zhang Yu was dumbfounded. I looked down at Zhang Yue holding my hand. What did this mean? During dinner, Zhang Yue asked me, do you still love Zhang Yu? I was busy eating the king crab. Don't mention her. She brings bad luck. It's affecting my appetite. Zhang Yue laughed again. I really didn't see what was so funny. She was so serious at work, and I was talking about her own younger sister. After a few days, I got used to the pace of work. It was a bit busy, but Zhang Yue's emotions were very stable. Unlike Zhang Yu, who would yell at people for being useless and tell them to get lost at the drop of a hat. However, my good days didn't last long before I was knocked unconscious at my doorstep. Before I passed out, I was thinking, I need to move. The security here is terrible. When I woke up, I found myself suspended in midair. If I fell, I'd be turned into a meat paste. Just thinking about it hurt. Turning my head, I saw that Lin Yi had been kidnapped as well. I instantly knew what kind of cliché plot this was. But could the kidnappers in novels use their brains a bit? Why kidnap me? Her useless ex-husband. I can't threaten Zhang Yu at all. She already looks for any excuse to kill me. Am I here to be part of the atmosphere? Zhang Yu quickly appeared with the ransom money. Of course, she came to save Lin Yi. She didn't look at me once from beginning to end. Turns out, these kidnappers were Zhang Yu's enemies. No, kidnapper big brother. You should have gone after Zhang Yu herself. You have the wrong target. In the end, the kidnappers made Zhang Yu choose. She could only save one person, either me or Lin Yi. The intention was to make her suffer, because one was her ex-husband, and the other was the man she loved. I really wanted to curse. This plot was exactly as I had imagined. So many things to complain about, but no words to say. Zhang Yu didn't hesitate at all. She chose to save Lin Yi. Zhang Yu didn't choose me, which I wasn't surprised by at all. If she chose me, that's what would have surprised me. Was I going to die here? My life of luxury had only just begun. If I had known I was going to die so soon, I wouldn't have been so stingy at the bar the other night. I shouldn't have hesitated to order a lady. I'm so regretful. The rope was cut, and I fell. I closed my eyes in fear, but unexpectedly, I felt no pain. Opening my eyes, I saw a thick pad underneath me. Zhang Yue was squatting beside me. How are you? Are you hurt? Clearly, she had saved me. Clutching her clothes, I said with tearful gratitude, President Jiang, I will repay you in my next life, even as an ox or a horse. This life, I only plan to enjoy myself with good food and drink. After saying those words, I passed out from being scared. When I woke up again, I found myself lying in a hospital bed with no strength in my body. I had survived a disaster. I must be blessed. When I heard that Zhang Yu was injured and was in the hospital room next door, I sat up with renewed energy. I want to be discharged. I want to stay far away from Zhang Yu to avoid getting implicated by her again. Zhang Yue walked in. The nurse said, you want to be discharged? I nodded. I'm fine. It's only a problem to be in the same hospital as Zhang Yu. Who knows if any more of her enemies will show up? She's so annoying. Zhang Yue pushed me back down onto the bed. Lie down and rest. President Jiang, behave yourself. I had no choice but to listen to her. After all, she was my savior. But I was still very scared, so I grabbed her arm and said, then don't leave. Zhang Yue hummed in agreement. Although she was a person of few words, she was very reliable. I took a nap. The test results came back and all my indicators were normal. It seems living to 99 won't be a problem. After completing the discharge procedures, Zhang Yue asked me, Yaoer is in the next room. Do you want to go see her? See her my foot. She tried to kill me. I immediately shook my head no. Coming out of the ward, I still ran into Zhang Yu and Lin Yi. Zhang Yu got hurt while chasing those kidnappers, but it wasn't serious. I hid behind Zhang Yue. President Jiang, let's go quickly. Zhang Yue held my hand. Don't be afraid. I instantly felt more confident. Zhang Yu looked at me, sister. Zhang Yue angrily scolded. Shut up. Looking at Zhang Yu's constipated face, my mood improved significantly. President Jiang is awesome. Then Jiang Yue confidently led me past them. Walking out of the hospital lobby, I looked down at our interlocked fingers. Even if I wanted to keep pretending to be oblivious, I couldn't anymore. President Jiang. Jiang Yue stopped. I raised our clasped hands and licked my lips, saying, I don't mind holding hands, but President Jiang Yu. Before I could finish speaking, Jiang Yue bent down and kissed me. My mind went completely blank, not knowing how to react. The book never mentioned I would have something with Jiang Yue. Jiang Yue straightened up, looking at me with burning hot eyes. I felt my face was hot enough to cook an egg, wanted to find a hole to crawl into. That was my first kiss. Jiang Yue's beautiful voice asked teasingly, Want Yaowa to call you brother-in-law? I imagined that scene and laughed loudly, nodding vigorously, yes. Just like that, Jiang Yue and I got together. But I didn't expect Jiang Yu would come find me on her own. I was busy preparing to move into a large villa. Ji Xiaochen, you just want money, right? I'll give you 20 million to leave my sister. So, she came to write me off with a check. Just as I was about to speak, someone hugged me from behind. I turned to look, it was Jiang Yue. She looked down at me. Xiaochen, I'll give you 200 million if you marry me. I wrapped my arms around Jiang Yue. I wasn't going to agree to her offer. Joke's on her. I wouldn't even look at a mere 20 million. Jiang Yue asked, Then are you willing to marry me? I looked at her steadily. I am. Then I turned to Jiang Yu. What are you looking at? Call me brother-in-law. Jiang Yu's face turned ugly, but under Jiang Yue's pressuring gaze, she called out, brother-in-law. I picked up Jiang Yue in my arms. Let's go get our marriage certificate.